Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Yeah, welcome to Drinking Bros, kids. It's a fine Monday afternoon in Austin, Tejas. Why? Because D'Anthony and I did it again, dude. Back-to-back children's coach champion. You know? Best in the biz. Best in the biz. I didn't bring the trophy in today, D'Anthony, because there was a hint of rain in the forecast, and I didn't want to dirty it, you know? I didn't want to ugly it up. I'll bring it in tomorrow.
Well, you didn't do anything.
I did all of it.
I just want to be clear about that now.
Undefeated season, D'Anthony. We only lost one last year. I've only lost one game in 2 years at this point. And
that's one more than I've lost, by the way.
I want to thank myself.
I haven't lost any.
Well, you just show up at the games with no kids and just kind of watch.
Yeah, and it's weird because I'm only a couple, like 15 or 20 feet away, and I'm still using binoculars just to creep people out. I want to start. My buddy Jeff Taylor and I always wanted to start what's known as a football firm, right? Which is in England the group of people who cruise around with the team and get into fights with fans from the other team, right?
Okay, like the hooligans?
Yeah, but we wanted to start that for like children's soccer.
Be great.
Yeah,
I
thought it would be really fun. I mean, we can do it modern style, like capoeira, the Brazilian dance fighting bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it was created because fighting each other, like practicing martial arts and shit, was outlawed for some reason. I don't remember the exact history of it. Maybe that piece of shit back there, Giorgio, knows more about it.
No, I think you're referring to the martial art made famous by Eddie Goro in the video game Tekken.
Big fan of Tekken.
No, I'm talking
Huge
about
fan of Tekken.
capoeira. God damn it! And it was like it's dance. So you're flipping around, fighting each other and shit, but you're not like beating each other up,
Right.
necessarily. And it was like it was a form of athleticism and martial arts, but also protests.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like we could do combatives. Just fucking bring out some mats to every soccer game, and instead of Randy Marsh style from South Park, where it's like, oh, you want to go? You want to go? It's just like, hey, your kid's fat and ugly. And it's like, oh, your kid's a piece of shit. Like, all right, well, let's go do some jiu-jitsu then.
Yeah, let's do it.
So everybody's kind of benefiting from that situation.
Sure.
The kid is still getting harassed and bullied, which is important for character development, in my opinion. Overcoming stuff like that and developing internal resilience. And the parents are still working out their frustrations and becoming more athletic and better prepared to protect their families.
Yeah.
This is a no-lose situation, and I want it to happen right now.
Okay. Well, I'll bring it up at the next school board meeting.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get this on the books.
Speaking of the school board, I guess it's the county for Dripping Springs and Driftwood.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they have a...
Hayes County.
Hayes County, yeah.
But the school board just, like every Republican that ran for office there won.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a huge shock out there.
It's 6, I think 6 out of the 9 board seats or something like that.
Yeah, I can say this. It's not a huge shock. Real quick here, Wally J3W says he lost his over the weekend, but my kid got red carded, so that's a win. That is a win. And congratulations to you.
Wait, how old is the kid and how, like...
They give cards.
Yeah, but like a red card is typically reserved for, I guess, tripping somebody in the box. You usually get one, but other than that, it's something pretty egregious. Or 2 yellow cards.
It is,
I
yeah.
think he got
kids.
2 yellows.
Yeah.
Did he get 2 yellow cards?
Kids, it is. This guy's saying his kid got a red card, so he must have really fucked this up.
Well, you get a red card if you get your second yellow either in the same match or in back-to-back matches.
I feel like you should know that as a soccer coach, Ross.
What?
That 2 yellows is then a red.
Well, I've been fortunate enough because of the way that I teach. Obviously, I don't even like to use the word coach. It's more teach.
I think with Ross, details are the enemy of determination.
But it's also he's teaching them, discipline.
Correct, and the rule book itself, and that is actually no lie, because if you don't, then dude, it would be absolute chaos. You'd be punching people, tripping people, all that.
I
shit.
feel like it's probably already absolute chaos. For a bunch of 8-year-olds playing soccer?
It's pretty controlled, actually. And they've already got, sports academies and all that shit at that age.
Well, his kid is 12.
Oh, his kid is 12.
Yeah, so that's
so that's sure.
Yeah, that's when they kind of start to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Right? So if he got red carded, was it he said a big slide tackle as retaliation.
Yeah, that'll get it done.
You don't want to, like, soccer is the same as American football. Like, the retaliator is always the person that gets in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you have to learn. You have to learn how to be that shitbag who can retaliate, but like
Well, you have to retaliate.
just ride the line.
You have to retaliate later on, right?
And make it look like an accident.
Yeah. Like, but
I think at that level too, by the way, they don't take you down to 10 men. Like they
Oh,
just
really? They just
swap them
replace
out.
you?
They play 4-on-4.
I feel like
Well, if the children do. But
Not
at
at
that
12,
level,
though.
at 12, yeah, you're playing full.
I don't know if they're going
full 11 on 11.
Yeah, you're going 11 on 11 at 12 for
12.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to start a soccer academy, and it's all about how to get revenge.
Maybe.
Yeah, without getting in trouble.
Maybe you could get away with that these days.
Especially position, they have that. I
Yeah,
think.
it's like the Draymond Green School of Soccer.
If you go out to Tucker's school, Tucker Max's school, that'd be a good teaching. But as far as your comment about the school board out there, so Drippin' Springs is kind of the suburb of Austin, right? You're just outside of Austin city limits. I think a lot of families, because I've seen them on some of these house excursions when you're going to look at a new house. I think a lot of families are over the bullshit that's going on in like Austin public schools.
Yeah.
So they want to go just outside the city, and then these votes now are starting to matter, where they're like, all right, great. I don't want critical race theory and all that other bullshit out there. Like, we're not doing that.
It's interesting. That's an interesting county too, because it also includes a college town. Although the college town is still kind of rednecky and not really like your typical like I don't know. Columbus is too big, but
Sure.
you know what I mean, like a college town. San Marcos is in Hayes County as well.
Yeah, Kyle, San Marco. I didn't know this until I looked yesterday because Brittany and I were talking on. We went down to Jared's yesterday after we went to lunch in San Antoine. We were talking about on the way back. I didn't know so Driftwood is also in there, but Driftwood is unincorporated,
Right.
So it's not a real city. It's just kind of a
It kind of like L's around Travis County, west to south.
yeah, pretty much. It's weird. I thought it was like all to the west, but apparently it goes like it's Kyle, San Marcos. It's not all the way down to New Braunfels. That's something else, but it's a big ass county,
Huge,
and it's pretty much where I would say the majority of working families live there. That are in the Austin area, probably,
correct?
Right
Yep.
between like Sean lives in Kyle. We all live in. I mean, pretty much everybody in this room, except for Dan and Giorgio, live in Hayes County.
Kyle's dope, dude.
Actually,
I've been up to Kyle.
Nick's up in Round Rock, I think. So I don't know what county.
That's Williamson.
Williamson.
All right.
Where do I live?
We live in Travis County.
You live in Travis.
Travis, yeah. Giorgio, that stunned look on your face says it all. You don't even know where you're at, let alone where you live.
I haven't slept, Ross.
2 years you've lived in that county and you don't even know the name of it?
It's not like I pay taxes.
Well, it's not like you're going to have anything to pay him with anyways, Giorgio, because all your money's into crypto, and that's crashing as we speak.
Well, that's wrong, actually. I took all my money out of crypto.
Well,
Did you really?
Yeah.
you fucking fraud.
You've talked about it on the show for years that crypto is so you're out. You're out on crypto altogether?
I'm out on crypto and in on Sony cameras.
Boy, that's even worse, probably.
No, they're doing great. They're like 1.25 times market value right now. If I want to resell them,
He's
on the
been
black
loading up on
market.
PlayStation 5s.
Yeah, are you the guy on Craigslist who's got fucking 18 PlayStation 5s ready to rock?
Don't hate the hustle.
I don't at all. I sat in the sun and cooked this weekend, but looking at this crypto thing, there was a bunch of articles that have come out. One was called "Crypto is Dead," and I read this article. Two things that stood out to me in here in this article were it's following the stock market. Crypto is right now. The stock market is just getting absolutely fucking hammered.
What do you mean when you say crypto?
Hang on, we'll get to that in a second. I just want to look at the numbers here for the stock markets. What are we down today? 600 points right now. Boy, it was down 1,000 on Friday. We were at 38,000 at one point, or 40, Bob, and now we're down to 32,000. The market is crashing, and so is crypto.
What's down to 32,000?
The stock
The
market.
Dow.
Oh, I
Dow
see.
Jones,
Okay,
yeah. And with that, in this article, he was saying, due to inflation and all these rising prices and everything else, if you were looking for a better investment, one would have thought, the way that this has been pitched for years and years and years, that crypto would be a safe haven and a great place to keep your money and make money if the stock market goes down. Clearly, that has not been the trend. And we're down, my God, man, more than half, 50% since November for crypto.
I don't know. You want to bring up I have the chart available.
69,000, I believe. It was the high.
Okay, so
Today we're hovering around, what, 32?
30, yeah, say
34?
32, 34, fine, whatever.
I think it's at 30.
Pick a day. I mean, yes, there was obviously these huge spikes here, but we all remember 2020, and you could have bought crypto at any point in time then, anytime 2019. I mean, we all remember the December of 2017 when we were finally hit 20,000. We were right around 20,000. Then we had this huge bear market where we thought it was over, trickled all the way back down to 3.
So this was, we're at 30. We're at 30 right now on the nuts for Bitcoin.
We're 10 times higher than we were December 2018. So I don't really think it's over.
So
Well,
why
look,
did you get out then?
I think a year-long trend is a pretty good trend. And right now, the year-long trend is Bitcoin's down 47.5%. And year-to-date, it's down like 36%. And Ethereum, 1 year, it's down 42%. That means this time last year, and then year to date since January, it's down 40%.
Which means we all got FOMO'd in this office. Every single one of us got FOMO'd at high prices, and we saw the rocket ship taking off, and we bought.
I actually got in low on this.
I did not.
We did not trust our real instincts of buying when we see red. And
Speak for yourself.
Are you still in it, Delco?
Oh, yeah, we have a lot of Ethereum. Hopefully it's good by October because that tax extension might have to file another one.
Yeah, that's coming up in October.
I lied. I do still have my ETH2 that's staked away. And I will be buying more crypto. I'm not out on crypto. I just sold the crypto that I had at that time to then purchase other things.
Okay.
I'm just moving. That's what makes it so great, Ross. It can become items. It can become future values. It could become USD currency at any point in time. It's so liquid. It's great.
Oh boy,
I love it.
It is not great.
Just buy a house instead of coin.
Yes, dude.
Yes,
I
because-
don't.
Get out on Jizz Coin.
Rates are so good right now for housing.
And I'm glad you brought that up as well, right?
Even a condo.
With all of this, rates are going up on houses. Crypto's down, stock market's down.
Well, the word on the street is that the reason the Dow is adjusting this way is because people felt like the rate hike was too low. They thought it should have gone higher off the bat.
They want it to go higher. They're waiting for it to go. This is what Bob needs. Bob needs people like me and Dan to buy houses now at this new ridiculous rate to then balance out the money that he's
But
made.
thankfully, my TJ McConnell Top Shot is still market value.
Yeah, there you go. Proud of you. Proud of you for that one. So the question becomes, what is it? And what is all of this? We've talked about it on the show for a year and a half now at this point.
Kinda.
With crypto. We've had all the crypto guys on.
But they've all just said bullshit, and they've all kind of talked in circles. And
Well, I found it interesting. So the brothers that we had on the show, the Pomplianos, now they're just simply in Bitcoin.
I hate those dudes. The coolest guy we've had on to talk about crypto is the guy that you guys know who had to mail those hard drives in and get them fixed.
Richard?
Yeah, Richard.
Richard is like the best guy to talk about crypto too, because he doesn't talk about it like it's like money in a way. He talks about it like it's like a technology and leveraging a technology in a way.
Right.
And it's kind of how I feel about it too, and why I really hate Bitcoin, because just because it was the first evolution of this technology, there's been so many other iterations of it that are so much more efficient. This just has like brand and name recognition, as I don't see like how you can continue a push towards it. Like I see a place in the internet where that stored value, like the money that's been put into it, can be used in a way, but I don't see that this being our metric of moving funds securely and safely. Because like all we're really talking about is making transactions between people safely for both parties. And it's what.
But that's not how the market is treating this.
Right.
The underlying technology has not had a massive effect on stock price, because Ethereum is probably the most promising underlying technology.
Possibly there's pieces of Ethereum's having to scale up and move to Ethereum too, because it was so slow and it has to make all these upgrades of things that were bad, and they're having to revisit it.
For sure.
Let's stop lying to ourselves. The big problem is we think it's decentralized, but that is the biggest lie ever told. It's not. It's manipulated. It's these hedge funds. It's all these things, all these outside factors that can still control.
I can make a wallet with nothing. People can send money to it. It doesn't have to have my name or anything associated with me, and then I can move that from that wallet as long as I have access to it to somewhere else. That is decentralized to me.
It's not fully decentralized.
No, well, I think you're talking about different things. Like your ability to move your own money around is decentralized, but the market as it exists is certainly not. Right? Like, and that's
you just don't have to go buy it on an exchange.
Okay, but this is the point I was getting to, which is that the market has a huge the people that are heavily invested, including a lot of these hedge funds, can just by brute force move the market around, and that's not decentralization of currency, right? That's not what that is. So half of the people are talking about technology and what can you do with it. A lot of people are talking about it as a currency, and but most people treat it as an investment. Now, we do that with currencies. We also do it with technologies, but we don't do it at the same time for a technology and a currency, right? Because it's too volatile when you do that. There's too many fucking moving pieces.
Wouldn't that be like buying a stock, though, on our phone of a tech company? That's a highly volatile tech company, like one of these, like, what was the blood company?
Yeah, but it's great. That's a great example. Neither of those are for normal people to invest in and tie their hopes and dreams into.
But like typically, like the expansion of the 401k market has been to get as close to a security as you possibly can, right? A security meaning that it's a guaranteed return, like a bond or something like that. Like I pay X amount, or a life insurance policy, I pay X amount, and at some point it will be worth this exact amount, right? And then I'll cash it out, or with whatever penalties or all that's built in. We're now. And this is a problem that became an even bigger problem in 7 and 8 with the housing market crash, and then the years after that, where we think of some of these things as securities, and they're not. It's like what Delco's saying. Like people think of it as this, but that's not really that's not what it is necessarily, and it's certainly not how people are treating it. It's because they want quick money. A lot of these people just want to make quick money, and that's going to have an effect on the market. And people that are heavily invested in the market and thereby have more control of it are going to take advantage of dumb people who want to make money in the short term. That's how that works. You know what I mean? That's how the stock market is basically the lottery for the lower middle class.
You can call Elon Musk by his name, Dan.
Yeah.
And he does this all the time, and has been doing it.
Look,
it's a fucking pyramid scheme.
Yeah, and this is.
And I'm not saying that that's what cryptocurrency is, or where it stops, or what it could be. I'm saying that is how it's treated by the people who have the most capital to influence it.
And speaking of your tech stocks, by the way, I'm going to read you the numbers here for the year, okay? Because they're frightening. Netflix is down 71% on the year. Snapchat is down 50% on the year. Facebook is down 41% on the year. Uber is down 47% on the year. Amazon, of all fucking companies, which I use that goddamn thing 90 times a day, so does everybody else in the neighborhoods around me. It's down 35% this year. Disney is down 30% this year. Tesla is down 33% this year. And Google is down 21%. Now, Google, I understand because of the censorship on YouTube, and I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, what's the year to date?
Here's my question, though. Like, you're not really a good fucking investor if you're worried about even like 1 year over year, right? Like you need to be investing in companies like that long term. Like
pull us up.
Right. For most of the people, right, Bob?
Boom.
Right. So you're talking about the dummies are getting fucked.
Right. And not only just the dummies, but like let's say it's people who are gaining a higher salary for the first time in their lives, and they're looking to put some money into the market. Those are the ones who are getting fucked. The long-term investors,
all their money right now.
I understand that, but for now, for them to achieve, let's just say they bought this year at Jan 1, all right? We'll start it this year. And you purchase the companies that you believe in, and a lot of these are on my list. Like Google, Tesla, Disney, Amazon.
Following this model, Ross, say you came into money and you wanted to get in the market, you invested in those companies that you believed in. following any advice that any market person tells you, which is not my own advice, this is not financial advice for me, you invest what you can slowly over time. You'll continue to invest in those companies. Again, right now, you're just getting more of them for cheaper.
But with inflation that is happening right now, people are spending more on gas, more on food, more on everything else. They need this money. So these little investments, it's going to fucking burn people down. And I think the overall consensus, at least from everybody that Dan and I have spoken with, is like a crash is coming very, very soon.
You can't be selling your stocks to buy gas. Like if you're doing that, you should not be buying stocks.
But have you seen what gas prices are at? People do not have. People aren't. They're not going to have a choice.
It was $7 in California.
There's always fluctuations in liquidity in this lower level of investor class, but it's not just dummies getting fucked. Like people are having, what you're describing is people are having their liquidity stolen from them, basically. And it's not just about people who may not be able to afford the risk or whatever getting involved. It's not just about that. It's about there is a finite amount of this stuff. And like they're not just buying up, they're not just buying or getting the currency from the dummies who are losing it. They're buying up more market share. Right, and this is what happened with the news media in America. Like all the newspapers got bought. There's 6 companies that own every single fucking newspaper that has any level of circulation in this country. 6, right? There's 4 companies that own all the media companies that own all the news agencies and video.
We did that story a few weeks ago.
And they bought all the magazines. They bought all the newspapers. They bought all the news stations, and now there's a single source of influence, and that's not the market as we refer to it, right? That's not the market functioning as it is. So it is a stranglehold on that, and that there's what's coming back from that, like BlackRock and Vanguard and all these companies. I mean, even Tesla owns like $3 billion worth of fucking Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like there are major companies all over the place that own the majority of cryptocurrencies that matter.
I will also say with the market, I think we got a little bit of a mirage during the beginning of the pandemic when everyone was cooped up in their house and they just wanted to feel part of something. They wanted to get involved in something that, they quit their job. They want to start playing the market.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of created a little bit of a boom that was not sustainable.
I didn't think about that. Like everyone wanted to become a day trader. Like everyone put like day trader in their like Tinder profile.
Oh yeah, dude! I just watched that AMC doc on HBO. Remember when AMC went to the moon and, GameStop as well? And we were stonks, dude. We were stonks crazy. We did it on this show, made a fuck ton of money.
Some of those YouTube channels still exist because of the dudes who would just like talk and follow.
Those guys were, by the way, the guy was in the documentary. 2 of those guys were in there. The one who has the YouTube channel, who sat on that fucking GameStop for 2 years. It was pretty remarkable to watch, but I think that has part to do with it. The other part too is like, you've been one of the biggest advocates for crypto, Giorgio, and you're currently out.
I'm not out. I mean, I still hold Ethereum 2, which is Ethereum token that I have staked away that I can't touch, sell, trade, or do anything with. And they promised me that I'll get to do something with it in the future, and I said, okay, you can have some of this money. I'll figure out what I'll do in the future. Kind of like what you did with that Cybertruck a little bit, where you're just like, here's some money.
Well, it was $100. So that was $100 risk. And I know I'm not getting that goddamn truck for 2 years, but $100, sure, I'll take a flyer.
This is happening the way that all new technology happens, though. And that is to say, people with large amounts of capital or the people who developed the technology will do well. There will be a few outlier companies that are not companies, but individuals, whether it's a company or an investor, who are early adopters who, through either foresight or luck, make the right moves and make a lot of money. And then everybody else will be mopping up the rest. It's just like the internet.
Can we talk about that new model though, Dan? How like everyone is like a crowd-funded product now, like everything. Like you just are on like a wait list. You get announced, then you get to sign up for it, then you get to pay for it, and then that just says in what order in a year that you'll get this. And it has to be a great time for a business. Like you don't even have a product. Like
it is and it isn't, right? I mean, you're going to have more businesses that look viable for longer than they really are. Which again, we're talking about we're not just talking about dumb or unlucky people losing their money and getting taken advantage of. We're talking about larger portions of that particular section of the market being captured by people who have the intention of digital feudalism, which is to say, let's keep us and our buddies rich, and everybody else, you can go work at SAP or somewhere and develop the technology that does something with this, but you can never own it yourself.
Right.
That's where this goes. Every single time, no matter what technology it is, from the Industrial Revolution to forward, maybe before that. Go read The Master Switch. It's a good book.
And the other, is that by Tim Wu? Master Switch?
Yeah, by the way, Chris Williamson still has my copy of it.
I was going to say, it's no longer here.
Text him.
And we should bring the woo button back to the soundboard.
Yeah.
Woo! I would like to have the woo button back.
But this is going to happen
back.
it's the same thing that's happening, by the way, with the housing market, right? BlackRock and Vanguard and these other companies buying up properties and converting them into rental properties. Mm-hmm. All this same shit is happening in every fucking single part of the market.
So we rise up, Dan.
Well, it feels bad out there, for real. And we're in Austin, one of the hottest housing markets there is. And I'm seeing a lot more houses sit for longer. We were just like, all right, how far away are we from this?
In my neighborhood, there's like 3. Like a couple of them have been like
for
renovated.
sale.
Yeah, so some have been like they want to sell you like the house plus the overpriced lot. Some have already torn it down and like built up the huge behemoth, and then some have like kind of like.
Have they? Let me ask you this: have they sold yet?
No, there's 3. There's 3.
Yeah, that new build will get you at 9.99% at 3 points.
Hard money Delco, dude. Hard money Delco.
You got like 2.1 for me?
Yeah.
No, we can go 4.99 on a rental.
And right now, by the way, the reason why we wanted to do this story today was we have a bunch of different subgroups of Drinkin' Bros on Facebook that are private. So any questions you want to ask in there, you can, and you can feel safe about it. Now, if people are dicks about the questions, we can't control that, obviously. But there is a large group called Drinkin' Bros Financing that is in there. And this question comes up all the fucking time. We thought we would talk about it today, of where we think it's headed and everything else. That is where I think it is headed. Dan is clearly on the same page. And then NFTs, that keeps coming up a lot as well. Is this dead? Was this just a fad as well?
Well, I mean, people who see an NFT as what a lot of these folks got rich selling it as in the first wave, yeah, that's not a thing. That was just a run on an art market. That's nothing new. That happens all the time. But the people with large communities, large followings, and we're going to do this as well. Giorgio's working on the back end of it right now, are using the NFT as a fucking pass, right? So the
Nelk Boys did this as well, and I think it's very smart.
Yeah, we're going to put out an NFT. We're going to put out a bunch of different ones. What's that? Why is that happening?
Giorgio.
Just fucking.
Just high, just pressing buttons.
Just a loose cannon over there.
Yeah, dude, just fucking high as shit.
Yeah, but we're gonna put out a series of NFTs, and they're gonna have obviously we're gonna award some, like for the May Bro Box, for example, the golden ticket winner is gonna get one of these, and basically there's different levels. So I
think that's the only way an NFT can work these days.
It's the smart way to use it.
Yes, if you're using it for other things like getting into a party or coming to watch a fucking show or something like that, where you actually get something for it. I think the days of just selling fucking shit for no reason, I don't know that really exists.
Well, there's a limit on art. Like people like fucking the Paul brothers and other like wealthy people are going to continue buying NFTs for a lot of money just because, right? That's something you do. You're a collector. But the way we intend on using it, and it's kind of like, it's more like a digital challenge coin almost. Speaking of challenge coins, we had to reorder those because FedEx lost them.
You're kidding.
Yeah, $3,000 or 3,000 coins or some shit like that. I don't remember what it was. Anyways, they're getting remade now, and as soon as they're here, we will ship them to your fucking house.
That's crazy.
I think they're going to send out an email this week letting everybody know what happened. It's fucking driving me crazy. Anyways, but that's kind of what it's going to be like. So you have your digital wallet, you buy our NFT for $100, and then anytime you show up to any Drinkin' Bros location or event, your first drink is free or something like that, right?
You know what? So it's weird you say that. A bunch of listeners have hit me up because we've been talking about building this bar. And we're, currently in the midst of getting licensing for it. And everybody's like, hey, dude, why not just put up like a fucking GoFundMe for the bar where it's like $5 and the first seltzer is free. The first hard AF seltzer is free. And I said, well, how would you do that? Show a receipt or something like that? And they were like, what if it was just a picture of whatever NFT you were talking about and then using that to fund the bar? And I was like, shit. I'll run it by Dan. I was like, it's a genius idea because it's not like the demo in that is that expensive. It's probably what, $250 for that place?
Like $180 probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say I think the technology is eventually just going to become kind of what these bigger ticketing websites like Ticketmaster and everything. That's kind of where it's going to go. The direction it's going to go with like the use.
Got it.
My buddy is actually buying up. Not only is he buying all the .ETH for all the politicians because he knows they're going to get into it eventually, but he's buying all the ticketing companies' ETH. So he's going to sell
like
it
Ticketmaster.eth.
Yeah, so he's going to sell like a
web
.com.
address. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's funny because immediately after that one show we did about it, Giorgio helped me get the Ross Patterson.eth one. So is that what it is?
Yeah, basically it's the domain naming service, but it's the Ethereum naming service.
Gotcha.
But I'm still huge on NFTs. I want to buy NFTs like trading cards. Like I want to get back on Top Shot.
Well, that'll come. That's a secondary market, though, right? The problem, it'll stall out for a couple of years, I think, because it got introduced as a primary market, and that wasn't the real intent. That's just whatever took off in social media.
I want to show you guys my buddy's NFT project that he launched. His name is Some Hoodlum.
No free ads.
If it's related to the show, it's fine. I don't give a shit.
So, like, he releases these characters, and this is kind of his art style that he's been drawing, and he has like a niche pop following. And then he releases these free access to all these concerts. So you got stuff in Dallas, Houston, Las Vegas, Portland.
Is he playing the concert, or is he just giving you tickets to that concert?
You get free access to all these concerts. And he does play some of them, but those are just like exclusive nights like in Vegas.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, just for anyone who, wants to support the project and is also like big into music, you get a tweet and artwork released once a week or once a month that tells you where you can go.
Okay. Look, there is interesting ways to skin that because we have a ticket company, obviously, drinkinbrostickets.com. And when you go there, you buy tickets, but maybe, when you start to get to some of these weird games that we send Lázaro Lopez to, towards the end of the week, and this is when I tell everybody to buy tickets, just wait till the end of the week, including Super Bowls and all that shit. That's when people start having to get rid of this shit and the price will go down. But there's a lot in like the upper decks that you can get like groups of 20, groups of 40, and it would be a blast to go with a bunch of Drinkin' Bros listeners and just get fucking rocked at one of these things buying tickets.
Oh, a last row pass?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And I believe, Dan, the Bro Box this month is last row, correct?
It is, yeah. It's super fucked up. Just I'm not gonna.
I think he's shooting a music video with Jack today, by the way, somewhere.
But yeah, he took the car. I don't know if that's technically our company work, but
they're shooting a music video with this dude named Zeus.
Okay,
and he's the only. I've never seen this before, but the style of music he does is like Tejana rap, basically.
Mm-hmm. He was on Jack's Sesh one night.
Yeah,
was he good?
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a super cool guy.
He's a bit of a scumbag, though, because he doesn't return his shopping carts to the proper area.
We hate those people, right?
We do. I went in on them.
I don't care about that at all.
What, you don't return your shopping cart?
It depends. I was at Dick's yesterday, which is the worst name for a sporting goods store or any store ever. And I was at Dick's with my kids, telling young kids, put your shoes on, we're going to Dick's, is always fucking touch and go for me. But there was no carts there, so I just kind of left it in the street. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry about it, Dicks.
It is the ultimate litmus test for self-governing. So,
but I had 2 young children to put in the car. It was about 100 degrees here yesterday, so I couldn't start up the car and then go push the cart back into the store. Like, no, Dicks, you should have that set up. And if you look in the parking lot of Bee Cave Dicks, then you'll know that was me who left that cart there. And I don't really feel bad about it. But I feel great about our sponsors coming up. GhostBed.com/Drinkin' Bros. That president, when he was on the show, was a fun show to learn his whole path.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this, that we're going through with the company and everything else, some of the problems that they were going through as well, and they've mastered it. They've mastered it at ghostbed.com. They have some of the fucking greatest goddamn products on the face of the earth. Just had another listener hit me up who bought a mattress and was like, hey, you guys weren't lying. I would not lie to you about something this costly because it's a big fucking decision. No. And a mattress should last you about 5 to 7 years. So, dude, I would not lie to you about this. It's too massive. We usually vet all these products before they go out into the world. And this was one of the best. That's why they're our title sponsor. Ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros has 40% off the bundle package. And that's the adjustable base and the mattress combined together. Now, if you want 30% off everything in the entire store, just pop in the promo code Drinkin' Bros and fill up that cart, dude. That cart you can leave in the middle of the street. I mean, you're just going to cash it out at the end, but whatever, man. They've got sheets, they've got the pillows, they've got the weighted blanket, or let's just say you just want the adjustable base or just the mattress. It's 30% off. I believe, Bob, you can fact check this, though, as we go on with the other sponsors. Did that guy still leave the fucking 2 free pillows up with the bed thing up?
Let's see.
If he did, fuck him. Take advantage
I might
of
buy
it.
a bed just to get more pillows.
The pillows are phenomenal, dude.
Yep. Pillows are still there.
Oh, they are. Good.
2 luxury pillows.
Good. Take advantage of this guy.
Here's my new plan, Ross. I'm going to buy a bunch of ghost beds for free pillows and then resell the ghost beds.
Look, are you going to put an NFT of a ghost bed up and sell that? You can virtually sleep on it in the metaverse or whatever the fuck that is. Don't do that. We're living in the real world still. Get to ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros today. Get yourself a brand new bedroom set for about $20-25 a month if you use the 60-month pay-as-you-go program that's at the end at checkout. If you have decent credit, that's a fun way to do it. $20-25 for real for a brand new bedroom sets. Ghostbed.com/Drinkin' Bros today. D'Anthony, who else we got up today?
What day is it?
Well, that's a great question. Is it May 9th?
May 9th.
Yeah.
Oh, we got
ExpressVPN.
ExpressVPN, yeah.
.com/Drinkin' Bros. That's a big one. That's a big one because everything we're talking about today with crypto and NFTs and all that other shit, if you're trying to protect your digital butthole and your footprint online, you've got to have one of these VPN companies. We've been with ExpressVPN for, how many years now? 2 or 3?
No, we've been with ExpressVPN since 2018, I think.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. 4
years.
Yep.
It's great. It's super easy. Look, it's just a seamless app that runs in the background of your phones. I hope these cases go on sale soon because I like these cases. Big fan of these. But it goes seamlessly in the back of your phone, your laptop, your desktop, your iPads, whatever you use, and that way you can look at whatever you want. So you can also jailbreak into Netflix's and other YouTube's around the world. Probably saying that correct. But it's the best. It encrypts all your devices and the network traffic. It'll reroute it through a secure server. And online, that activity will stay private because right now everybody's trying to suck every last ounce of data they can out of you. What I love most about it is how easy it is to use. ExpressVPN, the app, literally has just one big on button on it. All you have to do is tap to turn it on, and that's it. It works on all your devices, like I said, and you just tap that huge on button. So for a Luddite like myself, and somebody who likes childlike features, ExpressVPN.com/Drinkin' Bros is the best. So stop letting people invade your online privacy. Protect yourself with the #1 rated VPN at ExpressVPN.com/Drinkin' Bros. Use our link in the description if you're listening to the audio show, ExpressVPN.com/Drinkin' Bros. You're going to get 3 extra months for free. That is ExpressVPN.com/Drinkin' Bros to learn more. Last but not least, Anthony, who do we got?
We got Sunday.
Sunday.
I'm going to need some soon. Well,
you definitely are.
The plate, my lawn.
Have you used it?
Yeah.
I use it for my yard.
My lawn is green as fuck.
The best it's ever been.
Like super bright green, too, which is nice.
I started last year on it and just slowly went throughout the fall. And it's great. And again, for fucking Luddites like myself, dude, all you do is pop this thing into the bottom of your hose.
Like
you're good to go.
It's a thing you screw your hose into it and just spray it on your lawn. I mean, it's The good thing about it is that one, they do like a soil analysis based on where you live.
Yeah,
which
it's creepy.
Yeah,
how good it is.
But it includes like what kind of minerals and shit are there, how much it rains, stuff like that. So then they know how much they need to goose it, I guess.
Yep.
But they also do like full seasonal packages. Like for this part of the world, you need to water your lawn with this for this amount of time to get the best lawn all year, and that's how they sell it. I mean, it's really smart the way they do it.
Yeah, it's great. So right now, Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off. Full season plans start at $129, and that's for the whole season. And you can get 20% off when you visit getsunday.com/drinkinbros at checkout. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/drinkinbros. And if you're out there mowing the yard, you might as well drink some Hard AF Seltzer from hardafseltzer.com. 8% going straight to the dome. New flavors are coming up this summer. I just saw the mock-ups for the cans, and all we're doing is waiting on the watermelon. We'll test that live on air. And that's kind of the last one because we're gonna swap out one of the flavors for the summer. But the OGs are still in there. They're selling very, very quickly. When you're at 8% during today's time, if you're got a lot of money in crypto, you're gonna need some 8% to fucking knock the goddamn rust off. Man, it's bad out there. Go to hardafseltzer.com. We ship to 42 states right to your doorstep. We greatly appreciate all the support. And then in Murfreesboro, they've been selling the shit out of that. So 12 packs are regular price in there right now.
Yeah.
So you can go in, just grab and go, take whatever you want. If you want to drink the singles, you have to drink them in there because I guess that's the law in Tennessee. So that's probably the law in every state, right? Can you just get booze to go anywhere? Texas, maybe, I think.
You can
still
if you
kept
put it in
theirs.
a brown paper bag. I'm not kidding.
That's right.
It's literally a law.
That's right.
It's fucking stupid. So it's like eating an ortolan where you bury your head under the fucking because it's shameful. As long as you keep your shameful beverage in a brown paper sack, then God can't see it.
God can't see it. I wanted to chat with you about this Elon Musk thing. Did you see his tweet about Russia?
I saw he made some joke about them murdering him or some shit.
I don't know that he was joking, and here's why I don't know. Bob, if you could pull up his account, his mom replied to it and she said, "That's not funny." Whenever a mom tells you that's not funny, it's almost like
that means it probably was funny.
No, that means that they're super disappointed in you, and I've gotten that. That's not funny.
No.
And it's that voice too. That's not funny.
That just makes me happy.
Not on this one though, because he's talking about getting killed by the Russians. So apparently, what he's referencing is that he's been helping Ukraine with Starlink internet, and he says if something happens to me, pop that on screen, Bob. Is it this one? Yes. If I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing you. Which is fun.
Yeah, then his mom said that's not funny, and he said something to the effect of, "I'll try my best to stay alive." So he's a troll before anything else in his life. So
yeah,
not surprised by that.
But even they made a comment about it. Russia made a comment about it. They were like, "Look, man, if you want to play the fool, that's fine. We all fucking know what you're doing."
Yeah,
it was super pointed. Which is true. Like, I always wondered this. Like, even with the U.S. giving this money to Ukraine and all that other shit, it's like, at what point is that not an act of war, helping another country in an act of war, when you're not supposed to be in the war?
Yeah. I mean, look, I actually tweeted this out the other day. I can't remember exactly what I said. Well, hold on, let me find it, because I don't want to misquote myself.
A drunk tweet too, Dan.
That would be great if you misquoted yourself, though.
No, it's not a drunk tweet. It's I just want to...
I was just sharing.
That I'm
my
reading.
anger, I do it. I'm guilty of it. And it'll be my anger towards one thing, and I'm just like, motherfucker, why did you show me that right now?
Let's see.
You know, I was just trying to check the score, and then you fucked me.
Just trying to see Lisa Ann's 50th birthday photos.
Boy.
You know, she's speaking of her and Twitter, she's lobbying to get porn banned from Twitter. Have you seen that?
And I think that's reasonable. I mean, you can show some graphic shit on there. When we had Tiana Trump on the show, that was the first time that I went to Twitter for a porn star's fucking handle or whatever you want to call it, user account, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know you could do that shit on there.
You can do whatever you want.
I know.
Except for...
But anybody can see it. There's no age restriction.
Can't be a Republican, but otherwise...
Right.
Everything's pretty much on the table over there.
But there is no age restriction on there.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, is there some... like moral requirement to age restrict something that has that kind of content, and how do you even do that in a way that makes sense?
Right.
Like, I don't think that's even possible, to be honest, unless you use one of those. Like, the parent can use one of those filters, but I don't know. Anyway,
should kids should they even have Twitter? Kids
kids should not even have a computer. They should have a fucking stick and some rocks, and they should be outside.
By the way, shout out to Sultry Southern Slut for following me on Twitter the other day. That's at Southern Slutty. She her bio says built and put here to serve BBC.
Oh, great! Is there a photo of this young lady?
There's a video. There's a
Well,
lot.
we can't show the video. At some point, we should just switch all these shows over to Patreon because that's where we're headed.
Blowing bubbles with DNA.
Okay.
And now looking at taint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Is there a photo though? Just her profile pic?
I mean, that is definite. Her profile pic is for sure. Like, we could put that up there.
Okay, let's see it.
It's just a butt.
It's nothing of her face.
Oh, it's not her face. Do you have you have a picture of her face at least?
I don't think this is a human being.
Really?
Yeah, I think this is a porn bot.
Is there porn bots? Is that a thing?
Hell
And
yeah,
they
there's
follow
porn
you.
bots, and they follow you.
Good for you.
I didn't follow them; they followed me.
Shut the fuck up. Is that real?
Yeah, and I show it to my wife when they follow. I'm like, yeah, you think I'm stuck with you? Look at these people following me.
This is the best.
Check it out.
This is the
You
best
better
cover
act
ever.
right.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to go to one of these lovely porn actresses.
Sultry
who
Southern
loves me.
Sluts right around the corner.
Anyways, basically, I can't find the fucking tweet, but what I said was there was it was one of those stories about the U.S.'s intelligence helping
Yeah, I got it.
kill some people.
He said, I'm curious how any of you might react to the headline, Russian intelligence helped Iraq/Afghanistan destroy American military target.
Right. So I want to know from people who feel like it's, and I think it's a good question to ask. I'm not trying to be a contrarian or take sides or anything, but the story, which by the way, the White House has now denied that it's true, but it probably is, that during the ongoing invasion of Ukraine, the United States is using its intelligence services to help kill Russians. Now, during the American invasion of Iraq and Afghanistan, Russian intelligence service is helping Iraqis and Afghans kill Americans. How does that? That's the same sentence with different subjects.
I agree.
Well, that's happened before.
It certainly happened, yeah.
With Vietnam.
It happened in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Oh, what, Russian intel?
Not just intel. The Russians are responsible for the RPG-29s and the EFPs, which killed quite a few Americans.
I honestly think most of the American public would be like, that's the game.
Maybe. Is it the game? And, if you're comfortable with that, that's fine, I guess. But I'm not, right? I mean, that's provocation. Like, we would consider that to be an act of war if it happened to us, and we did at the time.
Yes, yeah.
And I just wonder, what's going on in Ukraine is fucked up. Is it worth American lives? No. Sorry. I mean, I don't think that it would be different if we're talking about Sweden or Finland or one of those countries or even Poland. But Ukraine is not a fucking democracy. It's not a democratic republic. It is a hybrid state that is run by a fucking comedian who's turned into a fascist, a guy that's continuously had political opponents arrested, had news media shut down, and I don't know if you've seen these videos on Twitter that have come out of Ukrainian police cruising around and arresting people for posting pro-Russia memes on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Like, that is fucked.
Do you stop it here so you don't have to stop it in Finland? Right? Are we stopping it, theoretically, are we stopping it in Czechoslovakia instead of Poland or France?
We talked about this morning on American Party. That'll come out Friday with a former, he used to work for the government guy.
Sure. 3 letters?
Sometime. Well, yeah, he was a GRS guy for a while, but he did stuff in the Army before that. Anyways, we discussed this. It doesn't appear to me, the American media over the past 2 weeks or so has been trying to suggest that Putin is getting antsy and it's probably going to lead to a nuclear war or may lead to a nuclear war. They keep saying nuclear, chemical, bio, all this stuff. What where has he shown that?
Right.
Like he's gone to look. There's a lot of incompetence in the Russian military. We addressed that as well, both from the planning, logistics phase, and their intel because generals are lying to him. It seems like that's true. However, they have proceeded with caution. They haven't gone full total war on Ukraine at all. And if their goal is just to take over the entire Ukraine, that's what they would have done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But their goal was to do exactly what the fuck I said, which is control the natural gas in the east. And my prediction is that in 10 years, they're going to invade again from Belarus and try to take the natural gas in the north, right? That's what Russia does. They're playing a 100-year game. We're playing a 4-year game.
Yeah, and the other part that shocked me over the weekend, I don't know if you saw this, was Jill Biden went to Ukraine to meet with Zelensky. And
yeah, it's a fucking... When ever have we sent fucking Nancy Pelosi and Jill Biden to an active combat zone?
I don't know.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Why would
man.
the First Lady be in an active combat zone?
That doesn't make any sense.
For Mother's Day, I don't understand.
If there was if the U.S. intelligence services had any inkling whatsoever, right? Not evidence, but even the remote possibility that chemical or biological or nuclear weapons might be used, not one fucking prayer. Any of those people would have gone over there.
No.
Not one prayer.
The other thing that I can't understand for the life of me after seeing that over the weekend, because Bob, pull up the photo. It looked like Trudeau was there as well. We have our own problems at the border here of this country, our own country. Why doesn't Jill Biden go down to the border here? Why is everybody ignoring the problems here? And why does Ukraine matter so much more than our own fucking country that you feel it necessary to go over there? I don't understand. Bono was there, and they did a song. I think it was a Mother's Day song.
Yeah,
in the Ukraine. Yeah, pop up this picture.
Those poor people have been through enough.
You too? Yeah, they have.
No, the Ukraine.
Oh, I think I meant you too.
And
now
they
got that album, pulled off.
Now they have to listen to this bullshit.
All right, so who do we got here? Who's this hit list here, Dan? So that's Jill Biden in the middle.
I don't recognize any of those other people. I see some. I mean, this looks like Veep, doesn't it? Look at that.
Yes.
That tall, gangly dude on the left.
And the guy in this uniform here to her right, Dan, is that an American?
No, that would be a Ukrainian or a Polish guy, I would imagine.
Yeah, that looks like a fake suit that you just bought for like a fraternity party about like war heroes and shit like that.
I don't know who those people are, but
there's another woman there in pink. Who is that, Bob?
I don't fucking know. They didn't tag these people.
She's got huge tits, and
but
that's going to boost morale.
We're fighting a proxy war, for sure, and you have to wonder what the purpose is. Like maybe Bob is onto something. They're trying to prevent, an incursion into Sweden, Finland, whatever the fuck. Although Finland has requested, or not officially yet, but they're about to request entry into NATO.
Sweden as well.
Sweden's
they're a little more.
Yeah,
but they also don't really border Russia like Finland does.
Yeah, but Sweden can defend itself as well against Russia for sure. Yeah,
Finland has the tech, but their population's only 5 million.
Their population's low, and they're right there too.
Yeah.
Sweden's got a little bit of standoff, and they have a very well trained military, like a military that stays well trained when they go back home after the military service, even. So they're in a much better position. But yeah, anyways, it's all like this weird propaganda bullshit. Mm-hmm. And I don't see where it's from the West perspective. I don't understand. Like, you already fucked up, and what you're doing right now is not unfucking what you fucked up. They fucked up by allowing Russia to have so much control over our energy and wheat, right? And the same way that we let China capture so much control over our domestic fucking currency and over our ability to produce microprocessors, like both of those things. This whole outsourcing thing that America has been doing is not really working out, right?
Right.
I mean, it's just not. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know what the fucking end state of this is, though.
I don't either, and it's just, to me, in my opinion, like I've just seen these photos over the weekend, it's just so fucked up. Mm-hmm. Like, why are we sending? And I'm like Republican or Democrat, whatever you are. I don't really care in this. Why are you sending the first lady of our country there, and not the president? Like, what's the move behind that?
Well, usually first lady's job is to like take on a single issue and make it better, like for.
But not war. Have you ever heard of an instance in war where we sent our first lady there?
I'm sure
maybe during
Eleanor Roosevelt traveled to war zones.
Yeah.
You're kidding, right?
No,
not at all.
No,
why? Because he was in a wheelchair, Bob? That's super fucked up.
No, because like it was. Eleanor Roosevelt probably spent more time at domestic defense production places, to be honest. But yeah, it was the first time that it was first wave feminism, and it was the first time that women were involved in the war effort in the West
during World War II
in a way like that. Yeah. So maybe that, but I don't know that Melania Trump did anything, to be honest, like except for trying to take Christmas away from children,
which is necessary.
Yeah.
But who gives a fuck about Christmas?
Michelle Obama was to get rid of fat kids, although now she would that would be fat phobia, what she did. Laura Bush was revitalizing libraries around the country. Hillary Clinton was murdering people who tried to accuse her husband of rape.
Nancy Reagan was given top.
Well, you missed Barbara Bush. I don't know what she did.
Bush, dude. She did some old stuff.
I don't know, but
I think she had a knitting class.
The point is, there's usually some kind of issue, like, hey, school sucks, so you go use your political clout to raise capital and energy to make this shit better. That's typically what the first lady's job is, not to go to a fucking war zone.
Right.
And it's very bizarre that they're pulling out all the stops. That's like if you watch sci-fi movies and you're a thing like divert all power to main fucking gun or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that like why would you put that much concentrated energy into this one thing?
Yeah, so
it doesn't make any sense. Like Russia is not anywhere. They're not anywhere near the threat to us that China is. And the only reason they're a threat to us at all, I mean, aside from nukes, which they're not, I don't think they would use. I can't imagine that scenario. But the only reason they're a threat to us at all is because we have systematically over the last couple of years, because of this green energy bullshit, put ourselves at their mercy by buying more of their shit, producing less of our own, and not like we can rebound from that pretty quickly. I feel like we're not doing it for whatever reason, but Germany's fucked. Like they don't have any other option. They can't go to. I can't imagine them going to OPEC, and because even America, when the word on the street is when Biden was calling OPEC, asking them to ramp up production, they wouldn't even take his fucking phone calls, right?
No shit.
So I don't know. All of this is of our own creation. It's not like Russia is some existential threat, like they were going to be at the doorstep of fucking Florida again, like they were in the 60s. This is not that's not fucking feasible. So why is so much energy being directed towards this?
And money. And money too, because we're sending over billions of dollars for what reason? I don't understand. Like,
I don't know.
Either hop into the fucking war or don't. And then also, what are you fighting for, and what do we help and give money for over and over and over again when we have our own problems here?
Well, even despite the fact that we're not taking care of our own problems here, being half in on a conflict like that, like giving them just enough money to keep fighting, the result is more dead Ukrainians. That's the result. Like you're fighting a war of attrition against Russia, who doesn't care about human life. How do you think that's going to go? Yeah. Act decisively and end the war, or stay out of it? I mean, this is not popular, I would imagine, but the rules of the world are such that the powerful often take advantage of the unpowerful in whatever regard that happens to be. Now, the international community gets involved frequently to stop shit like that from happening. But when you're talking about this one's more complicated than people will admit. Like those are a lot of those people, a great percentage of them in the East are ethnic Russians, right? And a lot of them don't want to fucking be in Ukraine, and that's dirty business. You have two corrupt ass countries. Russia is one of the most corrupt countries on earth and has been forever. You have two corrupt ass countries battling it out, and everybody in the U.S. is trying to make some moralistic fucking excuse for which side they're on. Like that's not how this fucking works. How is this affecting America specifically? And the way it's affecting America is the longer this war goes on, right? The more heavily involved and more of our own money we spend on it, and the more we have to fucking get butt fucked on energy costs.
Yep.
Like, that's the result of it. So what when we elect a president and Congress, the House and the Senate, we elect them to represent our best interests, and that is not in any way what they're doing here. Right? Like, I don't know. If you put it up to a vote whether or not we should deploy troops or spend billions of dollars on all this other shit, I guarantee you, if you just do it on April 16th, that's when you have the vote every year, and not one of these fucking wars would be funded.
Just do it right after tax day.
Yeah.
Right after fucking tax day. Yeah, but seeing them over there, I was just like, my God, man, we're doing that, huh? Just a waste of fucking time and money. And the thing that you said that you were like, oh, this might be controversial. That's exactly what Tucker Carlson and Trump said at the beginning of this fucking thing. And they weren't saying it to be controversial. They were just saying it as a matter of fact. If you have a weak country and a stronger country can take it over, they will, especially a country like Russia. It's just what's going to happen.
But if you want to stop Russia from doing what they're doing, then you have to set yourself up to not have to buy their fucking products.
Yeah.
The end. Right? That's it. You have to devalue what they're trying to do. Otherwise, the only reason they're doing it for money. Russia they're terrible. Their fucking economy has always sucked. Always. They're always like this close from just fucking falling off the face of the earth. And the way that you battle that isn't through the fucking dumbass micro wars, the proxy wars that we had through the 50s and 60s, the containment phase of the Cold War, and it isn't through détente where we don't do anything. We outspend them and we isolate them economically, not through these bullshit sanctions while we're still buying their goddamn oil and while Northern Europe is still buying their oil and natural gas. Like the better than a fucking sanction is to just stop buying their shit.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to have a fucking sanction for that.
And same with China. Same thing. Like, if we would have gotten off the China tit, years ago, like Trump had wanted to do, that would fucking help for the future as well. But we're fucking stuck.
Yeah.
And it's going to add to this inflation. It's going to add to the energy costs going up, and we're fucked. Yeah. We are fucked. Somebody in the chat here brought up something interesting that said the reason why we're sending money over there and not going to the border is because that's helping white people versus brown people. I don't know that that's the case, but I would hope not. We joke a lot with Mexican Sean in particular because he's Mexican, and Mexican Nick, obviously. And now that's become their names full time, I feel like. No, it's still Hightower Sean. You're still Hightower Sean. But Mexicans are some of the hardest working people on the fucking planet. If we're trying to help anybody assimilate or fucking send aid to help better a community, it should be Mexico because we share a fucking border with them. Yeah. Let alone this country where, if it's on a map, dude, I mean, I'm not the brightest guy in the world. I don't know that I could circle Ukraine on a map.
Be tough.
For real. Yeah. I don't know. If you put a map in front of me right now, could I circle where Ukraine was? Probably not. And that's just me being honest about it.
Well, we talked about this on fake news probably a month ago. The more likely somebody is to support us involving ourselves military in Ukraine, the less likely they are to know where it is on a map.
Oh, yeah. And that's for sure, which is why I don't care. Yeah. Because I don't know this country. I don't know where it's at. I know they're a fucking neighboring country of Russia. Great.
Well,
that's about it.
And the other thing is, we talked about this as well. There's been a parallel negotiation between Russia, U.S., and Iran this entire time. It hasn't stopped.
And what is it over?
It's trying to, it's Russia and the U.S. trying to leverage Iran to not develop nuclear weapons, basically. That's what it is.
Do they even have that capability? Because I know this came up last time with Soleimani when we nuked him. It was like, oh, they could fucking send in the nuclear weapons or whatever. And then do they even have the capability?
Not without help, I don't think, honestly. I mean,
how'd Pakistan do it?
We gave it to Pakistan.
We did?
Pretty sure, yeah.
United States did?
Yeah, I think so.
What about South Africa?
I don't know. I mean, look it up.
That's a great question. So does South Africa have nuclear weapons, Bob?
Yeah.
They do? No shit. Well, they came from somewhere. I wonder. That's a great question, Bob. I don't know. I don't see us giving that to South Africa, right? What would be the benefit of it, I guess? I mean,
I don't think it came from us. I'm looking it up right now.
If it came from you too, if it came from Bono, that would make sense. But I mean, he did that song, "Do They Know It's Christmas After All," about African children not knowing that it's Christmas because they're too poor.
Yeah.
But as far as anybody else, I don't really know what the benefit of that would be. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is the South African military super powerful, and are people trying to? Did they develop it for apartheid? Like, I'm trying to figure this out loud here. What would be the reasoning behind
That's a
it?
good question. I don't know.
Strange. I didn't know that. That's the beauty of doing this fucking show every day.
I mean, they were in a couple wars in the second half of the 20th century, fighting against like communists and stuff like. I mean, they were engaged against like Cubans of all people. I forget who else that war was with, but they were in some fights in the 50s, 60s, maybe 70s too.
Chris Beerworth in the chat is saying you could still buy stingers in Africa.
Yeah, that's probably true, actually. But yeah, the thing about what I was talking about with Russia and us, like, there's been no real penalty for Russia so far. Nothing that, like, their economy is up, ours is down after the sanctions.
Yep.
Because, and Democrats kind of refer to this like, hey, your portfolio is not as important as these people's lives. Well, I respectfully, I agree with that in principle, but your job isn't to protect Ukrainian lives. It's to protect American lives and interests. And it is, it's part of diplomacy. You try to find what you want to do is penalize somebody enough out of the public that they will decide to stop doing what they're doing so they don't have to take weird, aggressive face-saving actions like Iran bombing. I mean, it would have been a lot better if a car bomb had taken out Soleimani and not the U.S. necessarily, like where you know but you don't know. You know what I mean? Because then, like, they want revenge, but they don't have the political capital to go get it because there's going to be a price for that. We've not done that with Russia. It's all been about, like, public shit talking, trying to virtue signal and posture and shit like that. And it's not going to work with them. It hasn't. It's been fucking months now, and it hasn't worked. So I don't know why they think it's going to work better. The only way to make this work is to divorce ourselves from any kind of subjugation that these other foreign bad actors like China and Russia have over us. And we have done nothing to that effect. We should be producing our own energy, right? California should rebuild all of their fucking nuclear facilities immediately. Like, that's the dumbest shit that's ever happened.
That won't happen in a million years.
Same with Germany, by the way. Well, it might if Michael Schellenberger gets elected governor. We'll see. But yeah, that making yourself, like, we're the biggest spender. So where we spend our money fucking matters. And the fact that we're saying we support Ukraine in this war while we still pay for Russian shit means we don't give a fuck about it. They're just using this as a distraction, or they just feel like they should do it, so they have to, but they're not going to fucking stop making their money. You know what I mean? We're not really committed to this in any real way. And being half in to a war instead of completely into it, you're getting people killed.
Not only are you getting people killed, but we're losing a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. I want to switch over here to this Apple thing that I saw over the weekend. Did you see where the Apple employees in China stormed the gates to get out of COVID policies?
Yeah.
They've got a video of this. Bob, they're all in fucking hazmat suits, which apparently is a thing in China. If you go out and you work in public, you've got to wear a full fucking hazmat suit. I didn't believe this was real. I had to look at like 3 different places to see it. It's like Squid Games over there.
Yeah.
But for real. Yeah, you got a video of it, Bob?
Yeah.
Okay. Pop that up on screen.
What?
Look at that shit, dude.
警察都管不住。
Holy shit. I mean, they're getting after it. Is that? There's a woman beating the shit out of that dude.
This is like fight for survival type stuff.
It really is.
This is what you see when you push people too far. Even in authoritarian China, right, where they routinely have these demonstrations of force by the state to make sure people stay in line. Even there, this is what happens when you push people too far, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, a smart country would be looking to take advantage of that by, not just smart, but a smart and ethical country. Like if we really believe that that the idea of a republic, a democratic republic, is the best form of government, then we should, like, you can't force somebody into that any more than you can force an addict to stop doing drugs or drinking or whatever they're addicted to. All you can do is present the option and make it easy and efficient to take advantage of that option in whatever means you have, right? So that's what we should be doing, and we should be doing it through our business. Like our tax breaks internationally shouldn't be because we're doing business with companies that make more money for the fucking for the government or whatever or defense contractors or whatever this bullshit is. Like there should be, if we're going to do something like that, our investment should be towards some more, because it's an expense, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you're spending $1,000 a year cleaning up water damage at your house when you could just fucking spend $500 and fix the roof, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the reason we do that is because it's the $1,200 we spend in a year is just $100 a month, but you have to spend $500 or $600 at one time. We're like, well, we'll just keep doing this. No, that doesn't make any fucking sense. That's how businesses fail. Yeah. And that's how we've treated the way our country exports its chief products, which is to say our ideology and our spending power. We've exported those in a very irresponsible way, like through nation building and shit like that with Bush and Clinton, and through saying one thing and doing another with this Ukraine situation over and over and over again. We keep doing this stuff. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, it's crazy. And, this Apple worker thing is odd to me that Apple hasn't released a statement at all. Nothing. Just radio silence out of it.
Well, what are they going to say? I mean, what do you say? Well, that's where our factory is, so we have to obey the local regulations.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you say?
Why can't you just move your fucking factory? Is it because they want a foothold in China because there's 1 billion people and
well, it's because China has
phone sales.
They have the raw materials to make the phone.
Gotcha.
In a way that other places don't.
That makes sense.
I think that's probably the bigger part of it, to be honest.
I didn't even think about that.
But people like all these people that believe in fucking fairy tales like utopias and shit. There's nothing wrong with a superpower using a developing country for inexpensive labor, provided it's done so ethically. And we do this in society all the time. Kids in high school work at fucking McDonald's because they're young and developing and they don't have the same financial responsibilities that we do. And as you get older, right, you take on more financial responsibility and you get paid more typically for that. Not for that, but that's usually how that goes. There's nothing wrong with us looking at a place like Guatemala that needs economic infrastructure and saying, hey, they can do this job cheaper. We'll pay them a living wage to do it, not like pennies or slave labor and that bullshit, but pay them a living wage to do it. And people are like, oh, you're fucking paying them so much less than you would pay people here. Like, yeah, dude, that's how it fucking works. Like, we have to have an economy that doesn't have middle class and upper middle class people who need to work lower wage jobs. That's not how it's supposed to work. You know what I mean? So where are the outlets for that? Where are we creating new economic opportunities for people here to do things like the final processing or final assembly, right? And pay them a little more for it than harvesting raw materials and stuff like that. There's nothing unethical about that. It's not like blood dime. Everybody's got this fucking idea that paying, having factories in other countries is problematic because it's like a fucking global caste system or something like that. It's not true. It's just about the age and economic capability of that state, right? There's a responsible way to handle all this shit, and we don't do it.
The fact that you can produce something cheaper and ship it, even though it's large, heavy, massive, does give me pause just personally, like as an idiot.
Why?
It just feels like if why can't we just do it here and not have to bring it on the big boat?
Well, because, I mean, you're talking about distribution at that point. The big boat is carrying 1 million widgets. You know what I mean? So the shipping cost per widget is extremely low.
True, but
Whereas, and I would assume that the rise in wage required to assemble here or to manufacture here would outpace the shipping costs. They're just making a financial decision at that point.
Yeah,
So
and
you're looking at
it's like our seltzer, Giorgio. If you buy if you buy a case of it, it's $20 to ship. If you buy 2, it's $15 to ship. The more you ship, the better rates you get on this shit. So.
Well, I was just going to bring up, how would you feel about proprietary things? Like, to solve that solution, it's all about uniformity, right? Parts being able to use for lots of accessories, cars, tasks, whatever.
What are you trying to accomplish there?
Well, I was just gauging your feelings on that versus proprietary products or designs on things.
Well, I mean, Apple's model has been they have a cascading change in output for their 3 primary products, right? The phone, the tablet, and the computer. They're in some weird. I guarantee you, if you plotted all this stuff on a calendar or on a map, on a calendar, you could find some kind of pattern where, for some period of time, the computer and the tablet will use the same charging port, and then for some period of time, the tablet and the phone will use the same charging port, but all 3 of them are never on the same one. There's a reason for that. Yeah. Now, part of it is because they're freeing up more space. Batteries get smaller. They're freeing up more space for hard drives and stuff like that. That definitely happens. But a lot of it is for that proprietary reason, so you can't go anywhere else. And that's not very... people, like, I would assume that hardcore laissez-faire capitalists would say, well, that's how it is. Like, you're successful enough, you can corner that market. That's not very sporting, is it? You know what I mean? Like, if somebody can just through wealth and political power can box everybody else from the market, we're just in another form of feudalism at this point. So, yeah, I agree that should be possible. But what I don't agree with is that the government is in any way capable of doing that, of regulating responsibly or being responsible in the way that they fucking set and, like, execute the regulation of that.
We don't really have time to go into this episode, unfortunately.
Why not?
Man, we got sports. We got lots of sports to talk about.
It was a crazy weekend.
We have a crazy weekend. We got to transition over to that. But the EU issued this USB-C law, like where it's uniform, like where all cell phones have to be USB-C to cut down on e-waste. It was one of those things. Apple's combating that and facing lots of penalties and fines right now.
I don't mind that at all, actually. I wish so. I still carry on that fucking dongle, dude. That stupid ass thing. Yet another, $4 that Apple gets for their dumb bullshit. So.
I mean, that's just vertical integration, though. I mean, it's what successful companies do. We will offer different amounts of seltzer in different flavors, right?
Bomber cans.
Yeah, you do that. But what you don't do is you can only drink my seltzer from this cup.
Right.
If you pour it at anything else, it turns into poison and shit like that, right? I mean, there's a line, and I think we're all pretty aware of where it is in practice, but writing it down as a rule has become very problematic, I think, because it's all up to different interpretations and shit. So.
And I know we got Drinkin' Bros Sports coming up here at the top of the hour. Subscribe to Drinkin' Bros Sports on YouTube if you are not. We were flipping over there because I beat Dan this weekend, Delco, in golf. That's going to be a fun show today.
I mean, I gave you the pick. But
No, you did not. I've picked him twice this year, and we're going to go back. I've got the fucking receipts for you. You're welcome. Shout out to Max Homa. Thank you.
So excited for the show.
There it is. Oh, it's going to be great. And we got a fun little side bet that we're going to carry out the rest of the year there. I shit on Avatar a couple weeks ago on this show, and I would like to apologize for that today. So my kid wanted to see that new Doctor Strange movie on Saturday night. So I took them.
You can't get good seats unless you buy them like a fucking week in advance.
Oh yeah, because when you're able to eat in your seat like that and recline, it's a nice feature, and they're doing well over there at Evo Cinemas. So I'm not even going to knock it. Congratulations, because it's a blast to go to, and they've got a full bar, which is great, and you can take it right to your seat. But one of the previews for Doctor Strange was the new Avatar movie, and I just happened to be in one of those like IMAX theaters, whatever they are, the new digital bullshit. And I saw the full trailer for Avatar they just released. And holy shit, dude. James Cameron really is ahead of the whole world. I mean, it is just visually, I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like that. And that's what the metaverse should be, Giorgio. As much as we bitch about the goddamn metaverse, I'm like, my God, man. Whatever technology he's using or how many years it's taken to make this fucking thing, just to go and get high and sit in the background of it. I don't even give a fuck about the story of that goddamn thing at this point. It just looks amazing. Now, Doctor Strange, I did not like. We can get into that once more people have seen it.
The metaverse will be a casino.
You think so?
I mean, effectively, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. It'll be like it'll be an a la carte digital service of whatever, right? Whether it's experiential or whatever, right? So it'll be fucking a couple of pennies to do anything eventually. And it's a good model to make. It's what Elon Musk is going to try to do with Twitter, by the way.
That's what I heard. So if he follows through on that, it would be great.
I mean,
we'll see if it happens.
Maybe, but how do you? Here, it's a good question. So, he considers it to be the community fucking message board, for lack of a better phrase, where a lot of discourse happens, and he wants to charge people who profit from it, which is a reasonable thing to do, by the way, if you provide a service to the people. Facebook has made quite a bit of money doing that through ad-based stuff, but ad-based stuff didn't work on Twitter because that's not why people are there. They're there for conversation, and conversations don't lead to advertising like that in the same way that content does. It's different, right? So now they want to charge for a pro tier, which is to say media and writers, influencers that are in that particular type of thing, right? Not necessarily video creators, but people that make that type of stuff. Now, what's stopping anybody that has the wallet to do it? Like, the algorithm won't matter anymore on Twitter. It'll just be the same rich, dumb assholes who can buy their way out of the algorithm. So, yeah, Twitter will make a lot more money, but it's not going to be like this fucking, free thought utopia that everybody thinks it's going to be.
I don't necessarily think it's going to be that, but if everybody has the opportunity, and then financially, if you're all on the same wavelength as far as what you can buy to get around and everything like that, and everybody's got the same opportunity to do it.
Yeah, but
that's what I don't have a problem with.
Everybody doesn't have the same opportunity. There's a reason why politicians can't have their own fucking television shows, right?
Right.
Because it's free advertising, essentially. And just because, like, a company having more money than you or having more money than your company even doesn't mean they have more of a right to freedom of speech than you do. That's not how that works.
No, I agree. But
that's how that will be the effect. If Twitter is monetized in that way, and it seems like that's kind of where they're leaning, that will be the effect. It will fucking, Twitter will be even worse 5 years from now than it is now, but it'll be very profitable. So, the good solution to it is probably just to stay off Twitter, but buy the stock.
But if you're not leaning in a political way, in each of it, let's say, just for the sake of this argument, Fox and CNN are both spending money equally to promote their shit on there. Whatever, man. It's not really that much different than what goes on in regular television today.
No, not at all. I mean, you can spend your way out of pretty much anything. But
that's all we're looking to do, is to be rich enough to be above the law.
Well,
We've said it on this show for years and years and years.
But then the measure for meritocracy is no longer whether you're right. It's whether or not you can spend enough to make people believe you're right. That is called social decay.
It is.
Right?
But that's why me personally, after you get the fuck you money, I'm off of all social media all the way. Like, I'm gone from all of it, just wiped. The only thing I really enjoy on Twitter is seriously just looking up news. That's it.
I would prefer not to go scorched earth and leave things worse than what I found it. And I think that's Twitter's, from what I can tell from the leaks I've seen, that's kind of like the monetization strategy for Twitter.
But don't you think that's how you personally are going to leave?
No, I would never do that.
Scorched earth on everyone, everything, and then just walk away.
But not for the money, just for the lulls.
That's what I'm saying,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I'm not going to profit off the misery of other people. And that's what Twitter's done so far, and that's what it looks. I mean, honestly, if that's the model that Musk is using, that's probably going to be the result of it. It'll just be another echo chamber. And instead of it being slanted one political way or another, it'll just be another version of the richest people having access to the best communication services, which means they can tailor whatever narrative they want and profit off of it while they're fucking everybody else over.
Interesting. We'll see if it happens. We'll see if it goes down. What do you say, 2 years that he wanted to turn it private?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, no, they'll turn it private as soon as he makes the purchase. But he's intent on allowing as many, what he referred to as many people as possible, and maintain their private shares in the company. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, we'll see. To implement his monetization strategy, though, he wanted to quintuple revenue in the next 5 years, which is from $5 billion to $25 billion.
I wonder if it's possible, Twitter.
I don't know when it's going to go down, Ross, but when it does, it'll be in the DMs.
You think so?
I do.
Okay. Now's the point in the show. We get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week. This one actually is going to go out to one of our OG hosts and homies of the show, Vincent Rocco Vargas. If you've been watching the new Mayans MC season that recently just started here, familiar face popped up in it, and it was Mary Wonder Nubs.
Mary Dig?
Yep. She was in the show. They actually included a veteran element to Vincent's character, and he was able to bring Mary onto the show, which is fucking amazing. For those of you who watch Range 15, she had a very prominent role in that. She's one of our favorite human beings on the planet, and just to see her in the episode was probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yep.
Where it was, I mean, dude, Vince, dude, is never, ever, Rocco to most of you guys, has never, ever left Drinkin' Bros, the groups, anything else. And he certainly helped out Mary, and it was really fucking cool to see, man.
Yeah.
Great episode. Shout out to Vincent Rocco Vargas for doing that. It was just fucking rad, man. And that's what this whole group and the whole show and everything is all about. We appreciate you joining us today. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. That is literally all the advertisers care about. And then go to Spotify and leave a 5-star review. You're going to notice something different when you head to Spotify. We just signed a video deal with them, and that was just implemented over, the last 3 episodes, Giorgio?
Yeah, Giorgio's been a little busy lately, but no,
I uploaded the episode yesterday.
Yeah.
We're really happy that we have video on Spotify. It looks great.
It's gorgeous.
You can.
I was going to praise you guys because it's in 4K. It looks better than Rogan's. I love Joe Rogan, by the way, but our video quality is a lot better than his, and it's really fucking crazy to see. Their tech over at Spotify is probably one of the best in the business. Now, whether or not we stay on them very long, I don't know. They'll probably watch one of these shows and be like,
well, it's up to them, ultimately. But, as far as YouTube and some of the other stuff goes, we're probably going to have to leave these platforms pretty soon, to be honest.
Video-wise.
Yeah, I mean, they're fucking us over at every opportunity, and just running the show based on a sponsorship model will do for our company the same thing that being reliant on Russian energy has done to the United States and Germany. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are at the whims of people who think that we don't have the right to say the things that we're saying.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. And it's always a problem for us. It's always something we're conscious of. But at some point we have to leave these things and find different sources of revenue, right? To do this. This is our full-time job, is making this show. And making all these shows, you know what I mean? And if it's not profitable, then we can't continue it.
What Dan is saying is he's going to be joining my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I'm going to be joining the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But look, dude, we're always honest with you guys, but I've got the back end of YouTube pulled up now. So for the last 28 days, all the video shows we pump them out on this channel. $1,710. $1,710.16. Giorgio, how much does YouTube take of that? Don't they take 30% of that?
It's a 70-30 split on on super chats and stickers. I think it's a 50-40 split on, or 60-40 split on ads.
I was going to say that math doesn't add up.
Yeah, 60-40?
I'm real sleepy, guys.
No, you're high as shit.
He said 50-40.
Yeah, I know. I think it's 60-40, and you're right. And it's just like
10% for the big guy, though.
Yeah,
Well,
if the big guy.
Well, if it's on an Apple device, if you make that purchase on an iPhone, it's 30% to them right away.
And when we say big guy, we mean you, Ross, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
But the point of all that is like we some people that we know and some people that you follow are moving to more subscription based stuff. Like Sagar and Yeti still puts out some free stuff, but the good stuff is behind a paywall. Same thing with Tim Pool. Same thing with Tim Dillon. I mean, the reason they're doing it isn't to try to fucking milk money out of the community. Is because this is the job, and if people are, anytime you say something that's funny, get mad about it, want to take your fucking salary away, basically, then you have to go fucking find a new job.
And not only that, but they keep flagging you for more and more shit on here. Like the latest one was that penguin rape video. They were like, hey, that belongs to Nat Geo, so we can't monetize that. The money's got to go to...
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It was like a 10-second clip of a penguin getting raped. Like, can we really trademark that, I guess? But
it is what it is. But yeah, we'll be able to go live. Rick Miner asked if we can go live on Spotify. I don't know about on Spotify, but we'll always maintain the ability to go live.
Yeah, and we'll huddle up over the next few days and trying to figure this out. But
we'll also have a chat function no matter where we go.
And there's more shit we want to show where it's just like fuck off, man. And we get a strike the other day, so 3 strikes and you're out on YouTube. And it was for that Alex Jones show 4 years ago, and it was like, why did you leave it up for 4 years?
Yeah,
that didn't make any goddamn sense. And then we're like, we're gonna give you a strike now, and it's like, all right, cool, man. So we're looking into it, and we'll obviously tell you what we're going to do before we do it. But we appreciate all your support.
Before we go over to sports, I want you guys to think about this. Public access television.
I would by the way, I would love it more than life itself. That would be the greatest.
How would that be the greatest? This
Public access
Wayne's World? Get
TV.
the fuck out of here,
It would be awesome if it was, though, wouldn't it?
It'd be
man, that'd be fun. Public access is so fucking fun, dude. I would be in, for sure.
The whole message, by the way, is that the more that the community is involved in how we do business, the more we can give the community what they want, and not through the lens of some fuckface that's worried about somebody being offended by something.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just, and it's why we've spent more time on the seltzer this year.
It's to get out of
than we have on other stuff. To get away from that. Like we don't want to have. We love Ghostbed. There's a couple of advertisers that we would keep no matter what, just because they're buddies of ours and we love their companies and shit. Ghostbed's one of them. But for the most part, we want to get rid of all that.
Yeah.
And just have like you guys interact with us, we interact with you, and that other entity that's trying to tell us what to say and do is removed from their equation.
Yeah, I reached out to Evan this morning about Black Rifle Coffee. Yeah. I was like, hey man, we should keep this all in the family. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But obviously, we will let you guys know as we go through it. But we're on every single day here. We appreciate your support. And please go and rate this show a 5-star on iTunes and shit like that. That helps with all of it. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast. Join us on Drinkin' Bros Sports.